Could a government leak jeopardize the second trial of 4 Los Angeles cops in the Rodney King beating case? A giant fire rages through Windsor Castle in England, capping off a terrible week for the royal family. And a new study proves the AIDS virus can hide in dental equipment. We'll tell you what you can do to protect yourself. This is the CBS Evening News. Good evening, Dan Rather reporting. From BCCI, the world's worst bank fraud, to secret U.S. help for Saddam Hussein, the Justice Department has been rocked by repeated charges of botching investigations and covering up corruption. Tonight, there's yet another new charge. This one is that someone may be trying to sabotage the federal government's case in the Rodney King police beating. Rita Braver reports.
With the Rodney King case soon to be presented to a federal jury, an embarrassed Justice Department is investigating how and why one of its key memos was sent to an attorney for the police officers accused of beating King. The confidential document lays out the government's whole strategy for going after the police. The Los Angeles Times today reported that the memo questions whether King will make a credible witness because his statements are inconsistent. Sources say a defense lawyer received the memo in the mail about 2 months ago, that it was mailed in L.A., but so far it's not been determined whether it was sent accidentally through a clerical error or whether there's a mole in the Justice Department trying to help the police.
It is a little symptom that somebody on the prosecution team may be trying to undermine the case, and there could be more to it than simply this one memorandum. It's a danger signal that has to be pursued.
And in L.A., still tense after the riots that exploded when police were acquitted of state charges, the leaked memo has shaken confidence in the U.S. Justice Department.
I think people tend to believe the system is not fair for minorities, not fair when you're bringing actions against the police, and certainly it will only heighten those beliefs, heighten the tensions in this community.
But many veteran criminal attorneys say the memo will have little impact on the actual trial.
Whether, in fact, the case is weak or strong will be determined by a jury and not by the leak.
The Justice Department would not comment today, citing a gag order. But the department is already under fire for a long list of other matters, including a bungled investigation of loans to Iraq. And the question being asked a lot these days is whether the Bush Justice Department is corrupt or incompetent. Rita Braver, CBS News, Washington.
A federal judge today ordered the Bush administration not to erase White House computer records until the judge rules on whether they must be kept permanently. At least one outside group is asking access to see if these computer tapes contain anything about secret U.S. aid to Iraq before the Gulf War. Similar White House computer tapes were used by investigators in the secret weapons for Iran criminal case. President-elect Governor Bill Clinton was back in Little Rock today, reflecting on his 2 days of talks, partying, and touring in Washington. A top aide confirms that Clinton has not ruled out a possible short-term increase in the overall federal deficit if that's what it takes to stoke up jobs in the overall U.S. economy. President Bush and trade negotiator Carla Hills say a trade war between the United States and Europe has been averted. A dispute over farm subsidies has been settled. The U.S. had planned to impose punitive tariffs on European white wine and other goods. This settlement could also revive global trade talks. Part of the heritage of the British crown was destroyed by fire today in one more blow to a beleaguered royal family. Queen Elizabeth spent her wedding anniversary helping save what she could from fabled Windsor Castle. Martha Teichner was there.
The fire raged throughout the northeast corner of the building that for 850 years has been home to British royalty. Windsor is the largest inhabited castle in Europe, visited by 750,000 tourists a year. Its art collection one of the best in the world. With flames still leaping dangerously into the night sky, now questions are being asked. Why, so many hours after the fire started, it still hasn't been put out? At the scene throughout the day, Prince Andrew acted as point man for the royal family.
There is no idea how it started, just the fact that it started in the private chapel, and I believe something to do with a curtain.
All our history gone up in smoke, isn't it? Just, you know. it's unbelievable. Whoever thought it would happen in Windsor Castle?
It was so unbelievable that at first there was no reaction. This tourist video shows the changing of the guard just before lunch. Business as usual as smoke billowed out of the castle. Then, as firefighters battled the blaze, priceless furniture and works of art were moved to safety. Seriously damaged, possibly destroyed, is St. George's Hall, the Queen's official banquet room. Today, on her 45th wedding anniversary, she is said to be devastated. The fire is a timely metaphor for the crises that have engulfed the British royal family lately. The marital difficulties of the Queen's children, criticism of the Queen herself. Doubts have even been raised about the viability of the monarchy in modern Britain. The obvious unhappiness of the Prince and Princess of Wales has fed the royal rumor mill with rumblings that Prince Charles will step aside and let his son be king. But after his own marriage collapsed earlier this year, today Prince Andrew was seen publicly to be responsible and very much in control.
Well, it's a lovely place. It's a place that I've been brought up, and it's a terrible, terrible sadness to see it in this condition, particularly as it's still burning.
Tonight, dramatic fire service video was released showing the extent of the damage. The cost to repair the castle and to Britain's cultural heritage is still impossible to calculate. Martha Teichner, CBS News, Windsor Castle.
A new study coming out this weekend in a British journal is sure to add to concerns about AIDS and the dentist office. Just how big is the risk? Health correspondent Dr. Bob Arnott has the latest.
Joan Clark is making her first visit to a new dentist. Like many people, she has a concern in the back of her mind about reports that a patient could get AIDS during a routine checkup.
They certainly make me more cautious when I'm in a dentist's office and more aware of the precautions that the dentist is taking.
She should be. A new study in the medical journal Lancet proves that the AIDS virus can hide behind a high-speed drill. Researchers found that common disinfectants fail to kill the AIDS virus. Dental tools must be sterilized with heat.
Chemical disinfectants cannot get inside dental equipment that's reusable. We heat sterilize to assure that any contaminants that are within that equipment will be reached and killed.
This device is called an autoclave. Instruments are placed in it for 40 minutes over 200 degrees, which kills the AIDS virus. Both the FDA and the American Dental Association recommend that dentists use heat to sterilize their tools between patients.
There's no excuse. You know, we're talking about blood-borne pathogens, we're talking about diseases. You have to do it.
The recommendation comes in the wake of the Kimberly Bergalis case, a Florida woman who contracted AIDS from her dentist and died. The government says her dentist used tools that were not heat sterilized. The cost of following the guidelines may be prohibitive to some dentists. Stocking a busy dental office with the new equipment can run at least $10,000.
The overhead has gone up 10 to 20%.
And so there's a temptation to cut corners.
There's always a temptation to cut corners.
The actual risk of contracting AIDS at the dentist's office is very small. But today's report does mean patient beware. Make certain that your dentist uses either autoclaved or disposable instruments. Dr. Bob Arnott, CBS News, New York.
Still to come on tonight's CBS Evening News, kids in a classroom wait to hear the fate of their missing hero. And Eye on America, tonight, waiting for the winds of change.
Something has to change. We can't keep doing it.
I hear that a few of you still haven't tried delicious Sunsweet pitted prunes. Well, I don't know why. Sunsweet prunes are tender and sweet, and they won't bite. Honest. Not if you bite them first.
There's one battery that backs you with free jumpstart service anywhere, for any reason. Die Hard.
Can't believe I left my lights on.
Sears Die Hard. The battery you can count on to give you more power when you need it most.
1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. Stretch.
For the minor aches and pains of your daily workout. Introducing Therapeutic Mineral Ice Plus. A lotion that goes on cool to relieve your pain. Mineral Ice Plus also contains a moisturizer, so it soothes your skin as it cools your pain. Therapeutic Mineral Ice Plus. Tell your pain to cool it.
It's called a super typhoon, and it's bearing down tonight on U.S. territory in the Pacific, the Northern Mariana Islands and Guam. Super Typhoon Gay is packing sustained winds of 185 miles an hour with gusts up to 225 miles an hour. A powerful storm in the Atlantic Ocean may have doomed a veteran American sailor trying a solo crossing to France. Jacqueline Adams has that story.
Some yachtsmen think sailing solo around the world is the act of a madman. But friends and family call Mike Plant the ultimate explorer. His frontier, the ocean.
It's like driving your car at 100 miles an hour with your eyes closed. It's that tense.
Michael represents something that's ingrained in Americans, and Michael is truly an adventurer.
Plant won a solo round-the-world sailboat race his first time out in 1986.
Basically, I like the time at sea. I enjoy sailing, and I enjoy the competitions.
Despite his vast sailing skills, Plant has been missing at sea for more than 3 weeks.
Aboard his brand new custom-designed racer, Plant left this New York City marina back on October 16th. Destination, France, for the start of his next round-the-world race. For an experienced sailor, this should have been just a hop, skip, and jump across the Atlantic. Quickly, though, Plant ran into trouble.
Just 5 days into his trip to France, Plant told a passing freighter he'd lost all electrical power, but was okay. 6 days later, though, after a fierce hurricane, a satellite picked up a signal that Plant was in dire trouble. But no one knew it was him, since he'd apparently never registered his emergency signal with authorities. Almost 2 weeks after he should have landed in France, the Coast Guard finally identified Plant's distress signal, and a massive search began. Navy and Coast Guard planes scouring 190,000 square miles of ocean.
The winds can be fierce, the seas can be high, and the air can be very, very cold. And it's a very, very lonely experience out there.
Now, we know that he left New York on October 16th.
At Brooklyn's PS 114, Karen Siegel's science class had been gearing up to track Plant's round-the-world sail. Now, the kids wait to hear something, anything, about his fate.
Because he's like family to us. His sails might be ripped, and he might be facing hard times. He's probably wondering if he'll ever get there or not.
His family says that now it's somehow up to them to find their missing sailor. The Coast Guard has suspended its search pending new information about his location.
How many of you think he's still going to show up in France?
Jacqueline Adams, CBS News, New York.
Stay with us now for more CBS News, including why hopes are high but expectations low in the search for Americans missing in Vietnam.
1 a.m., still awake. Your fever's worse. The coughing and congestion just keep you awake. This flu you handled today now feels out of control. You've got the night flu and you need maximum relief. TheraFlu introduces new maximum strength nighttime, the strongest hot liquid formula ever made. It relieves your worst flu symptoms so you can get the sleep you desperately need. New maximum strength nighttime from TheraFlu. Maximum flu relief so you can sleep.
It may surprise you to learn who, over 30 years ago, was the first car maker to build cars with seat belts, to make safety glass standard, the first U.S. car maker to offer anti-lock brakes, and who today offers more models with dual airbags than any other manufacturer. That company is Ford Motor Company.
We're committed to making safety innovation an important part of quality.
Ford Motor Company. Quality is job one. It's working.
Color Tiles Thanksgiving price rollback up to 50% off. DuPont Stainmaster 1066 installed. Incredible. Vinyl tile and sheet vinyl up to 44% off. Ceramic tile up to half off. Sensational. Mini blinds, all one low price. Wood flooring and wall covering. Color Tiles Thanksgiving price rollback. Save up to 50% on carpet, vinyl, ceramic, windows, and walls.
And it's all for you. Color Tiles.
Hurry in today.
Woody Allen says he didn't do it. Mia Farrow says he did. Woody tells his story to Steve Croft, Sunday on 60 Minutes.
U.S. Senator John Kerry searched in person today for signs of missing Americans at a remote Vietnamese prison camp. In visiting that camp, the Vietnam veteran, now senator, was revisiting his past. David Martin is traveling with the U.S. team and reports now from Ho Chi Minh City.
Vietnam's Mekong Delta. As a young Navy lieutenant, John Kerry fought here. Now he's coming back as chairman of the Senate Committee on Missing American Servicemen. He and a team of U.S. intelligence officers are investigating a report that 14 Americans were being held prisoner here as recently as February of this year.
The prisoners, according to the source, are kept in an underground facility on the top of a saddle between two mountains.
More than 1,500 live sighting reports have been checked out since the end of the war, often with great difficulty. Not one has led to a U.S. serviceman held prisoner. And this one is no different. Kerry's search party lands where the underground prison was reported, but the local villagers don't know anything about it.
Has he ever seen Americans or Caucasians here on the mountain?
Long ago, I could see, but I cannot see anyone.
The Pentagon has spent $15 million just this year and succeeded in resolving the fates of only 3 of the 2,264 Americans still unaccounted for. From the Delta to the Citadel, Vietnam's Pentagon, U.S. searchers are doggedly tracking down leads to missing servicemen.
U.S. intelligence officers have tried before to check out reports of Americans being held prisoner inside the Citadel by walking these streets and asking people if they've ever seen any Americans inside the compound. The answer is always no.
If there were prisoners being held in these locations, it simply would not be, they could not conceal that fact from the general public.
Kerry and other senators like Tom Daschle have actually gone inside Vietnamese prisons looking for Americans, but always come up empty.
Now, someone is obviously always going to be capable of saying, well, they were moved. There is a point, I suggest respectfully, where statistically and just as a matter of common sense, you have to make some judgments here.
The judgment of most of the searchers is that they will never determine the fates of all the unaccounted for. It is an impossible task, they say, but it is the least a country can do for its soldiers. David Martin, CBS News, Ho Chi Minh City.
Coming up next, Colorado braces for its tourist season with some angry homosexuals and their supporters threatening to wreck it with a boycott.
Doctor.
Is it right for me?
Habitrol.
It's a nicotine patch.
Habitrol.
For information, call 1-800-685-2000.
You know, Habitrol.
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 Habitrol Nicotine Transdermal System. Available by prescription only.
Thank you, doctor.
There's a certain itch that's so private, most people will only discuss it with their doctor. Fortunately, you can get Anusol HC1 ointment over the counter with the same prescription strength doctors have prescribed most.
Presto has a great idea.
Shoot some slices, shoot some shreds, shoot some salad, salad shooter.
Presto has a great big idea. Professional salad shooter slicer shredder. Big capacity, holds a lot, shoots a lot. Powerful, fast, a variety of cutting blades so you can point and slice thick, slice thin, shred right into the bowl, even ripple cut. Chop, grate right where you want. Clean up easy, dishwasher safe, store anywhere.
Salad shooter.
Original, cordless, professional salad shooter.
Before winter hits hard, get to Sears, America's #1 tire store. For a limited time, all Goodyear tires and all Bridgestone road handlers are on sale at Sears. All weather Goodyear Arrivas, as low as $19.88, our lowest price ever. Backed by a 55,000-mile warranty. All Goodyear tires and all Bridgestone road handlers on sale.
You can count on me.
At America's #1 tire store, Sears.
Masters champ Fred Couples and U.S. Open winner Tom Kite join the Shark, Greg Norman, for the Franklin Fun Shark Shootout this weekend on CBS Sports.
Rocky times in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. A dispute over gay rights is snowballing into threats of a nationwide tourist boycott. James Hattori has our report.
Colorado is the new ground zero in the battle over homosexual rights. Voters this month approved Amendment 2, a measure denying homosexuals protection from discrimination, leaving Rocky Mountain gays and lesbians stunned.
Just the feeling that we had just been clubbed in the gut. When one group can be identified and can have intolerance legalized against them, I mean, who's next?
Despite polls indicating the measure would fail, conservative and religious groups prevailed with a campaign claiming gays and lesbians do not deserve special rights.
Is it a special right to want to look forward to one day finding someone to love and live together with?
The passage of Amendment 2 has revitalized Colorado gays and lesbians. They filed a lawsuit in court, and now there's growing talk of an economic boycott against the state. Already 6 convention groups have canceled plans here. Singer Barbra Streisand this week voiced Hollywood's concern and willingness to forego Colorado's chic getaways.
If we are asked to, we must refuse to play where they discriminate.
No small threat in a state with $1 billion a year tourism industry.
They are telling the people of Colorado that if we dare take a stand against their political agenda, they will cut the heart of Colorado out financially.
But for many, it's more than just politics.
There were 4 of them. One had a girl down kicking her.
This woman, who was attacked while leaving a Denver lesbian bar, fears Amendment 2 will only make things worse.
I mean, hate is okay, you know. They just made it okay.
The extremists out there who commit these acts of violence are basically seeing the vote as declaring open season.
A season many fear of growing intolerance. James Hattori, CBS News, Denver.
It's amazing how it grew and grew. That little company you started in your garage. And now you've got an automobile whose drive for quality matches your own. The Buick Park Avenue Ultra. With its supercharged engine, the Park Avenue Ultra is proof you still take pride in what comes out of your garage.
Give me one good reason to try new Serenity with Dry Layer Plus. Hugs.
Johnson & Johnson.
This new blue layer, only Serenity has it. Pulls the wetness in quicker, away from my skin. Definitely drier.
The alternative?
The Plus, odor protection. I want that. Drier, fresher? That just feels cleaner.
New Dry Layer Plus, another good reason to love Serenity Guards from Johnson & Johnson.
When I get a cold, I see a doctor. I'm married to one. My wife recommends Dimetap Extentabs.
Doctors have recommended the Dimetap brand over 200 million times. Adult-strength Extentabs relieve your cold symptoms for 12 hours with one of the least sedating non-prescription antihistamines.
My wife is a doctor, so I can really trust what she tells me.
Doctors recommend Dimetap for their families and yours. For 4-hour cold relief, try new Dimetap liquid gels.
There's something about Anacin you probably don't know. Anacin is such a strong pain reliever, headache sufferers find Anacin more effective than regular strength aspirin against stubborn headache pain. Rediscover Anacin for stubborn headache pain.
The Remington microscreen shaves as close as a blade or your money back. 2 flexible screens let you shave whiskers below skin level. It's quick, smooth, comfortable. A great value. The Remington microscreen.
One word emerged from the long presidential campaign, the word change. That's what people voted for. That's what people expect. Out on the plains of Illinois, Winnebago County mirrored the nation's mood, voting as America did, to break with the present and take a chance on change. Bob McNamara looks at America in transition, reporting from Winnebago County in tonight's Eye on America.
It was time for a change.
It is a change carried on the November wind.
We have to change.
Racing past factories.
A change.
Rustling corn on family farms.
I was looking for a change.
It is a change that captures the crowd at the American Legion Tavern, tapping hope and fear.
Of course we're skeptical.
I don't think jobs are going to come just like that.
That's a different generation.
We aren't going to be here. We need young blood in there, but I'm scared.
God is in charge. Why should I worry about it?
But Helen Doyle and her friends are worried.
Please, Mom and Dad, there's help at the Crisis Pregnancy Center.
After years of daily protest,
boy, that's 8 already.
At the Rockford Women's Clinic, anti-abortion activists suddenly find themselves out in the cold.
There was a time when they would be here 7 days a week, 24 hours a day nearly. I mean, it was bad.
Inside, building owner and bitter adversary Wayne Webster...
We got a patient coming in, John.
...monitors the protest.
They do drive-by shootings on this building. They do fire bombings.
See, he's making money off of this.
Now, they're pro-life, and by God, if you don't go along with them, they'll kill you.
Eventually, something will cause the whole thing to really blow up. Like the Civil War, I suppose.
I think they've met their Waterloo with Bill Clinton. Their cause is gone.
With these nets, Lee Johnson monitors bird migrations.
We catch half as many birds now as we used to.
He believes the new administration will work to turn that around.
There still is a lot of political pressure the other way. The idea that jobs are more important than the environment. But jobs don't do you much good if you don't have air to breathe.
We got hurt so bad there in the 80s, things have been going downhill ever since. And I sure hope Clinton does something, I really do.
Where troubled farms rub shoulders with abandoned factories, everybody wonders what's ahead.
Well, I don't know, I'm just kind of concerned, I mean, whether anybody can do anything.
This is the real center of political power, where real people struggle with a broken economy and worry about the future. Here, politics gets personal. A farm auction, a middle American exchange of money and memories.
In our generation, we had a depression. And one of the things that we did not believe in was spending what we didn't have. And our government is doing it. Of course, I've never voted for a Democrat before, but I did this time.
In some farmhouse kitchens, the new president has brought a new kind of hope.
I wish that he could make our lives more equalized. You know, there's people that are hungry.
Yes, please.
Here, too, there is hope. In this shelter, that's all most people have.
I think I got a chance of getting me a job that I really want.
In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. It is a kind of political grace period, a time when Americans expect answers to personal prayers.
Give people jobs and help these people get off the streets.
He needs to make a crime his biggest priority.
The middle class needs a break. Try to get me a job.
I think the economy needs some stimulation.
I want him to do wonderful.
Well, if I could see Bill Clinton face to face, what I would say to him is, I certainly hope that all the promises you made that you keep. It follows every political storm, this burst of political promise. Here in the heart of the country, they're waiting to count promises kept. In Winnebago County, Illinois, Bob McNamara for Eye on America.
And that's part of our world tonight. Dan Rather for the CBS Evening News. Bob Schieffer will be here tomorrow night, Connie Chung on Sunday. I'll see you again on Monday. For all of us here at CBS News, thanks for watching. Good night.
Experience CBS News.
The arming of Americans. We're buying protection big time, but all this high-priced armor really gives you something else. We'll tell you what it is on Eye on America, Monday on the CBS Evening News.
The people of CBS News. Dan Rather.
Connie Chung.
Mike Wallace.
Paul Azan.
Ed Bradley.
Leslie Stahl.
Harry Smith.
Morley Safer.
Bob Schieffer.
And Charles Kuralt. Experience.
CBS News.
This is CBS.